All right, here we go. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. We're going to have a great webinar on AI and legal marketing. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm attorney James Grant. I'm one of the founding partners of Georgia Trial Attorneys, and we're litigators who help other personal injury lawyers make more money faster and with less stress by serving as their outsourced litigation department. The way I look at it, my mission is simple. We litigate so you don't have to. And we've carved out kind of a pretty cool and unique niche in the fact that we specialize in cases that range in damages from $5,000 up to $250,000 and not a penny more, not anything bigger. Anything really above that is way outside of our wheelhouse. It's a different business model. It's a different team. It's a different workflow. Everything about it is different. So this unique niche allows us to be very efficient and very focused, which also means it gives us the opportunity to use a ton of technology, a lot of automation, and especially AI and artificial intelligence. And as I learn new things and implement new things when it comes to AI, I always want to share those with you and give opportunities to have feedback sessions and to share like this. So that way, when it comes time when this AI train leaves the station, that no one really gets left behind because we're all going to be on it at some point. It's just a matter of how quickly we adapt AI into our businesses and our law firms. So now as we kind of really turn into the meat, let's get into some brief housekeeping. You're going to learn something today when it comes to AI and marketing. Today's session is going to last 20 to 30 minutes approximately, or however long my voice holds up. Kids are the best thing in the world, and sometimes they bring home wonderful presents like pink eye and strep throat. So bear with me for as long as my voice holds up, but hopefully we'll be able to make it through in that 20 to 30 minute period. But that being said, you're going to learn so much more today if you also go back and watch some of the prior webinars that we've done on AI. Having a comprehensive understanding of how to interact with AI better, as opposed to just very simple and basic prompts and not understanding how it flows as a conversation. Also utilizing custom instructions and how that can really take your AI platform for you and just put it to a whole nother level. You're going to see things with my ChatGPT in particular that you may not necessarily understand. Why does it look like this when mine doesn't look like that? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just throw in the chat a link to all of the other webinars in the past. So if you want to check that out, just visit that URL of AI for Lawyers on my website. You can look at the other webinars, get a feel for how that works, and that way you can just have a little bit more comprehensive understanding when it comes just to using AI from a basic standpoint. Also, I'm going to be demoing several platforms, several AI platforms. I'm going to show some other things as well to show how there's some synergy amongst AI. AI is not a one-stop shop where it's the end solution for everything. It's the end all be all, but AI is something that's definitely going to help you, and being able to see how these platforms are used in real time with real scenarios and real results gives you a little bit more opportunity to see, okay, this is something I can do myself. During this time, do not hesitate to ask questions. I've got the chat pulled up right here. Don't hold your questions till the end. It's one of those deals where if we're going through and you've got a question about something in the moment, ask it right now. So that way we don't have to go back and be like, well, we were talking about this or maybe not. Let's answer any questions that you have as they go. Just post them in the chat here and I'll see them pop up and we'll get right to it. Also, don't worry whether you need to, leave early. If you got to answer a call, if the Amazon man comes and drops off another package, you got to answer the door. This whole thing's being recorded and it'll be available immediately after we get done today. So don't worry about that. You'll all have access to the recording itself. Now, really, to get into kind of the meat of the presentation as far as a introductory standpoint, when it comes to marketing, marketing's easy. Marketing's hard. It really depends on your perspective and what you're dealing with in the moment. And sometimes it's true on both ends of the spectrum. But the biggest goal with marketing is you want to be sure that you're connecting with your avatar clients. And when I say avatar, what is that? Well, it's your grade A clients on a scale from A to F. If you rank all of your clients, you're going to have a set of clients that are in the A criteria. And there's probably going to be something that's fairly consistent about them, about who they are, about where they are, about how they act, what they do, that makes them A clients for you. And once you know who they are, where they act, then you can market to them, and specifically them, because those are who you want more of. And it's, this is one of the things that I'm about to say, something that's not necessarily AI, that's not, easy for a lot of lawyers, but it all starts with a well thought out, intentional, written out marketing plan. I fell into this the same way. Most lawyers hate planning. We love the work that we do, whether it's personal injury or any other field. We like to do the job itself, but we don't like to necessarily plan. But planning is so abundantly important, especially when it comes to your marketing. And my perspective is that your marketing should probably be an even bigger priority than the actual production of what you're doing. The process of getting the work actually done should take second seat to the marketing that you have in place, because you may have the best marketing process out there, but he who markets gets the cases, or in my case, gets the referral partners. Now, this doesn't have to be some 974-page document that's, all these crazy calculations with all this information and all these, charts that are syncing back and forth. It can be that complicated, but it's probably not going to help you. A marketing plan and a business plan can be very basic, and you've got to start off with a few simple numbers. You need to know, how many new matters do we need to sign up this entire year? What's our projected closing rate? Because then from that, you can backwards calculate to how many qualified consults do you need. Then you can project your qualified lead rate and say, all right, well, now that I have that, I can calculate the number of leads that marketing needs to bring in the door. Then with your budget, then you can say, all right, how many marketing channels are we going to be spending across to then get all of these leads, to qualified leads, to new matters that have been signed up? Once you have all that, that can get you to the place where then you can engage in true marketing. There's two types of marketing. There's the reactive marketing of the individuals that are a hair on fire, that they just found themselves in a position where they need the assistance of a lawyer today. That's reactive marketing to those individuals. Another better way to think about it is, well, how can we also proactively market? Preconditioning prospects to know, like, and trust you before they find themselves in a position where they need the assistance of a lawyer. And when you start doing that, then you're fishing upstream, and you're also fishing in the honey hole as well. And this is really where AI can step in and help a whole lot of things. AI is not, we're not talking Skynet. AI is not going to take over the world. AI is not an in-game solution. It's not a one-stop shop, but it's going to allow you to be faster. It's going to allow you to make decisions based on data and calculations so much quicker. And incorporating AI into your firm and also into your marketing is going to do something that's really important for all of us in any business. It's going to keep us ahead of our competition. I mean, and let's be honest, in the field of personal injury, it doesn't matter what geographic location you are, it is a super competitive field. So any edge that we can take along the way, it's really, really going to help us get to a next level. And I kind of like to dispel a lot of this. When it comes to legal marketing, sometimes we think of this as like super secret Wizard of Oz type stuff where we can't understand as lawyers because we just don't get it. That's not the case. If you can't understand your marketing plan or what your marketing vendor is doing for you, then effectively you've just let your marketing vendor steer your business, because they're the one that's controlling what's coming in the door. Production doesn't control that. Marketing's controlling that. So it's something you need to be very careful to take care of, because marketing is the lifeblood of your business. So, I mean, don't fall for the smoke and mirrors. This stuff really can be simple. It doesn't take, a PhD in marketing to understand a lot of this. It takes a little bit of time sometimes, but the cool thing now with AI is you can ask the AI a lot of questions about what these things are and how there's synergy amongst different marketing items or channels or any number of things, and it's going to help you with that as well. So again, using AI to help you understand marketing better will make you a better business owner and get you to a point where you can run your business better and have it then run for you. This is a brief overview of some of the things we're going to go over today, and we're going to touch on a lot of stuff really fast. This is not going to be a deep dive into any one particular item in the marketing channel, but just to show that there are a lot of things that you can do with AI. This is not an all-inclusive list. We could spend hours upon hours doing this, but it's just going to be more of rapid fire. And that's on purpose. So that way, if we find out in the chat, somebody raises questions. Okay, well, hey, maybe there's some, really big desire when it comes to AI generated images, and we want to have a whole webinar on that. We can do that. But for now, we're just going to hit it hard and fast with a bunch of rapid fire information on all of these. So let's take it first. Let's talk about images. First impressions are so important, and images really matter, especially when we're talking about the digital age. Words can be great. You can have, great oratory skills. If we're talking video, you can have great written skills as far as the written word, but sometimes images are really what grab your attention. And it's because it's not all about the writing. You can have a stale, stagnant page, but if there's no images, maybe it's not that great. And especially in our field of personal injury, we can all look at different websites or different social media posts and look and see those pictures that we just know are the 37 personal injury stock images. There's one I'm thinking of right now of the gray car that's hitting the black car. It's a rear end collision. I've seen that image 5,000 times in the last week, and it's all plastered everywhere, but it's easy. You're able to pull that stock image. Well, you don't need stock images anymore. You can create your own individualized image that works for you, for your web page, for your social media, for whatever. So it's really, really cool. And the great thing about, at least from my research right now, is there's really no copyright on any of this stuff, because there's a big debate as far as whether this is true authorship of the human hand or if it's the AI that's doing it. So there's really no risk for creating these images and posting them and using them for your commercial purpose. There's several platforms that you can use. These are just 3 of them. DALL-E is through GPT, and I'll really briefly go over that in our demo. I just threw another one in here just so you can see that there's other options. Canva, I don't really like it, but it has the option if you wanted to use something different just to see. But without question, my absolute favorite is Midjourney. If you're looking to generate images for any kind of digital use, Midjourney is without question what I would suggest. It's just hands down awesome. And these are, just a quick example of a few images that we've just created randomly. We use these in our on our website, and they're different. They stand out. It's not a stock image. It's something that's cool, because again, something that's cool is going to hold eyeballs. And going back to one of the other slides of talking about, there's an SEO benefit from images. Well, the cool thing about that is, you're not getting words on a page necessarily through an image. However, if the image is engaging, if the image is cool, and someone stops and says, "Oh, that's neat, I'm going to look at that," or what's deep in that image, what's further, what am I looking at? Well, all of a sudden, what do you have now? If this is a web page, well, you have somebody that's viewing that web page for longer. So then your page view time goes up. The algorithm knows this is a well-viewed page. People stay on this for a long time. And then if they like the image, maybe they read the content and find, oh, this is good content. So you're increasing the time that people are spending on your page, which helps you from an algorithm standpoint, but then also helps you from a conversion standpoint because they're spending more time and more likely to make a sales decision building that know, like, and trust. All right, so we're going to do a quick review of GPT and how its image builder works, and then really we're going to go into Midjourney to show you how that process is. All right, so all right, so we've got GPT here, we've got pulled up, and there's nothing special that you really need to do. You can just type in any image request in the chat prompt here at the bottom. What that's going to do is it's going to know automatically, all right, I'm supposed to create an image, and it'll work on creating the image. You do have the option, though, if you want to explore other GPTs, and specifically, you're going to go with Dolly. And there's all these different image generators that are out there. You can, logos, cartoons, any number of things. These are, people that have created their own GPTs that you can then use to generate images or just see how your prompt interacts differently. But to go back, let's just something simple, and it's going to take some time. It's going to process, and the more, there's a fine line of what I'm about to say. The more detailed your prompt, the better, but sometimes you can get so overly detailed that there's too much information for the AI to process, and it'll start leaving things out. But this is just very basic. I mean, that's a cool image. I would potentially use that. I don't necessarily like Dolly, though, because it's not as realistic. You can look at it and you're like, that's not really right. That doesn't look real. Whereas we're about to go to Midjourney and we're going to see that, yep, that stuff looks totally real. So let's switch over to Midjourney real quick. All right. So this is, nope, don't have that pulled up. All right. So this is Midjourney. To get to this, you have to first sign up for Discord. Discord is just another social media and communication platform, but you have to have a Discord account first. Once you've signed up with Discord, then you can purchase access to Midjourney. And then once you get in, this icon here is the icon for Midjourney. So now that we're in Midjourney, you have a whole lot. This is fast. I could do probably a whole webinar just on Midjourney, but to show you briefly what we would do is, and you can see there's other images that are being created as we're doing this. You scroll down and you come and you just pick a room, a general room that you want to do images in. So we're going to just pick room number 6. You scroll to the bottom, and in the message prompt, it's /imagine prompt, and then we type in whatever prompt we want. I don't know. Let's just dystopian scene of an attorney with a briefcase being chased by an ambulance on a mountain. I don't know. But I mean, again, that's how far and crazy you can come up with whatever. Cool thing about what I just did is you see right here, this is a ridiculous prompt that this person put in here. That's a whole lot of information. You can see how wide you can be when it comes to an uber basic prompt or a very, very detailed prompt. And it starts building, but you can see other people are building their images at the same time as well. It gives you the ability to, even leverage what other people are doing. Like, oh, I liked what they did. That was cool. How did they do that? Or just, you can download their images and use their images as well. So it's, great to use your own skill, but then also leverage the skills of others, because you'll see how their prompts interact. And I mean, those are pretty cool images. That's something that's definitely going to grab attention. And these aren't the final products. So what we can do is, within this image, you've got the ability to, maybe refine the image a little bit, or if, using U1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 are your boxes. Or if you want to, vary it widely, but kind of loosely base it on one or two of these, you can do that. Or you can just ask it to regenerate. Then you can zoom in, zoom out, all sorts of stuff with it. So this is a wonderful thing when it comes to building images that I love. I could talk for it more, but time is an important deal. So that's Midjourney. Midjourney is great. Ask me questions if you have more on. And then let's see, Joshua asked a question of, do you worry about users using your images in Midjourney? No, I don't worry about it at all, because I mean, they can if they want, but I would be the first person. So if there's any metadata that's attached with my image, I'm the first one according to Google. And then if I see that others are using my image, maybe I change the image. That's the cool thing about this, is it doesn't have to be a static image that you leave for all time and eternity. This is an image that you can use over and over and over and over again, of creating new ones, because you know how to do it. So then there's, in essence, you have a bank of images that you're rolling through constantly, because, Google does like to see change. So thank you for that question, Josh. All right, now to go back to the presentation, we're going to blow through some of the rest of this stuff. Content creation. Everyone loves to talk about content creation. Content creation is absolutely huge with AI. You can do so much with it. So we're going to do a quick demo about, my little 5-step process of writing content, because we've all heard the phrase, content is king, and images are catchy, but guess what? AI is the kingmaker. AI is going to help you just take this to a whole nother level of being fast and being efficient with it. So now we'll move to another demo. All right, so we're back to our GPT screen. I'm just going to pull up a new one. And, we're going to start with a fairly basic prompt. You'll see a lot of people out there that say that you need to have these very detailed, very complex prompts, and it's the one prompt that you need. That's not really how you interact with GPT. It's not how you interact with a person. You have a conversation. So you start small and then you refine as you go. So we're going to start here with our prompt that I've kind of pre-written of, let's just do a 200-word informational and educational article on why it's important to go to a doctor after a car accident. And here's the audience. Now, again, this is different on how your GPT is going to respond because of some of the things I've done with custom instructions. So be sure to check out, like I said, the other webinars in the past. But here we have a very basic step 1 approach of writing this short article. Now, let's say when it comes to step 2, which step 2 is to refine this, let's say you get a little stuck. The great thing about AI is you can ask it a question. Well, let's say, what questions can I answer to allow you to refine this to fit my target audience? The cool thing, it's going to ask you questions. Provide me more information so I can make this article even better. That's some of the best places where you can engage in this next phase, because step 2 may take 3, 4, 5 different prompts because you're refining along the way. But let's say that we've answered all of these questions. Well, and really one of the only things that we want to do now is we want it to, rewrite the article in active voice. Cool. It's going to do that. Then our step 3 is we're going to come in here once it gets done, and we're going to ask it to focus on the language that's actually being used. The length of words. The next three steps are really about helping your readability and your SEO. So the next prompt that I have in here is to revise the article to simplify complex sentences, to use common language, and also don't have long, complex, or filler words. And we'll see here how it's taking this, and this is a short, 200-word article, but imagine doing this with, an 800 or 1,000-word article on your web page. It's going to do a lot. Now we're really getting refined here, but let's take it to the next level. Let's say here that we wanted to add in some SEO keywords, and we don't just want to stuff words in, but we want to use some natural language. All right. We'll give it that. Now it's going to put those in. So now we have removed a lot of the complex language and jargon. We've added in some SEO criteria. And now we're going to go to step 5, and we're going to do a final edit. So we're going to ask it to revise the article to enhance clarity, fluency, make sure it's easily comprehensible, and focus on achieving a high readability score. Readability scores are huge with Google. You can have a great web page with great content, but if it doesn't score high on a readability standpoint, it actually may rank lower than a page that's got worse content or even inaccurate content, but it just reads very well. So that's the last thing you really want to focus on when it comes to creating your copy that you're putting out on the internet is a high readability score. And here we see through this, quick 5-step process is the tenor and tone has changed drastically from what we first started with. And it's easier to interact with AI when you use this step approach as opposed to, well, I'm just going to use one prompt that's going to be a page and a half long. The AI can process it, but it's not going to process it as well. So this is kind of the fast and fiery way of how you can use AI to leverage content. Going back to our presentation, we one of the questions I'm sure some of you are having is, well, where did we get some of this information? There's a lot of information here that I don't necessarily know where it came from. 2 really cool things that I would suggest to everyone look into. Keywords Everywhere. It's a browser extension. It's an add-on. Really gives you a ton of access to what people are searching, whether it's the same keywords, related keywords, long tail keywords. It just gives you a lot of information on search volume of what people are searching within certain criteria. So that way you can know, oh, this is the highly searched and trafficked term. Maybe I should include this in my article. The same thing with Answer the Public. It's giving you very similar information, but it's Keywords Everywhere is great for focusing the content that you've already created of how you want to improve it from an SEO standpoint, whereas Answer the Public is more focused on exploring content of what you could or would want to post. So it's 2 great platforms that you can leverage together to really just get a clear insight on how to add more SEO benefit to your copy. And the applications for this are really endless. I mean, you can do so much. You can do newsletters, you can do blogs, you can do landing pages, downloadables, any number of social media, any number of things. But good, well-written copy will do wonderful things for you, especially with super cool images that go along with it. And then, I mean, this is not AI stuff, but this is super important when it comes to website. I just really want to talk briefly as we're coming to a close. Understanding your website is very, very important. It is not a black box. It's not Wizard of Oz stuff like I was saying earlier. You can understand a lot of this stuff and it makes sense. But your domain authority is super duper important. Effectively, your domain authority is the credit score of your website, and the higher, the better. The AJC is very, very high. New York Times is like 100. Morgan & Morgan is 53. If you're ranking anywhere close to that, your website is phenomenal, and that's great. Until we started really doing this, our website, admittedly, was not very great. We've already brought it up to an 18, and we're moving forward with it. But understanding and maintaining your domain authority score, very, very important thing that you always need to do. And one of the ways you can do this is through great copy. But the next way that you can help improve that is through backlinks. We hear about backlinks. Some people don't really understand backlinks. All backlinks are, it's effectively an endorsement for your website. It's another website linking to your site. And that site's domain authority is very important. So for instance, if the New York Times having a 100 score domain authority links to your website, that's going to boost your website because that's a pretty big and pretty heavy endorsement. One of the platforms that we can use to improve this is Adsy.com. Adsy.com is a guest blog posting platform. What they do is they connect publishers that post across all these different websites and platforms with individual buyers, whether it be the owner or the marketing team or the marketing coordinator or just somebody who wants to improve their website, puts them together so that you can, for instance, pay to be placed on Forbes.com. That may look like a lot of money, but if you're getting a significant boost in your domain authority from someone with a ridiculously high domain authority, it's probably worth it. So that's definitely something to look into. And then one of the last things is, the metrics when it comes to your page speed is absolutely vital. You want your page to be fast. And it's a simple thing to do. So, what I've got here is the URL that I posted in, and we're just going to search my firm's website. It's going to take a minute. It's going to process, any number of things. I have no clue necessarily what it's processing and looking at, but the data that it performs and the scorecard that it gives you some insight for you and your website team and whoever's hosting it, a lot of information. And the performance, really, that's what you want. You want a high score. There's some things that we can work on, but performance is good. And you also want to check your mobile and your desktop. You want to be ranking high on that, because if it takes too long for your page to load, people are going to leave. You're going to downgrade. You're not going to be ranking as high for the algorithms. So even though you're using AI to have wonderful content, if your page isn't great, it's not going to go far for you. So making sure you have a great page speed, making sure you have a high domain authority is only going to help you catapult to the next level when you're using AI for your different legal marketing strategies. So that's a quick insight on that. And then really, when it comes to the presentation, that's it. We're about 4 minutes over, but I just want to throw it before we hop off today. Does anyone have any last minute questions about anything on this fast and furious, rapid fire AI and legal marketing session? Throw them in the chat, speak now, or forever hold your peace. But looks like nothing, and that's okay. We're 4 minutes late. Thank you all for sticking around. It's wonderful talking with you. Stick around for the next webinar next month, and we'll talk to you soon. Y'all have a great day now.